Hey, I think celebration is a good thing. They say that what gets celebrated gets repeated. And that's a great tip for parents, right? Like if you see the behavior that you want your kid to repeat, well, celebrate that behavior. And if you do more celebrating than you do correcting, well, then you'll see yourself moving forward. It's not that you don't need correction, because you do in life. Your kids need it. You personally need it in your job. You need that correction and feedback, but you also need the celebration. And so when you start to see progress, celebrate it. Don't go over and above, but celebrate it a little bit, right? Like, man, maybe you've set a goal financially. And once you reach a certain benchmark, man, you may not want to go celebrating by like going on a shopping spree and blowing all of the discipline that you've built up. But maybe go like buy some brownies and have some brownies and ice cream or something, right? Like, man, enjoy, find a way to celebrate some way, because what you celebrate gets repeated. And when you celebrate, you're able to give credit where it's due. Now, if you're celebrating something spiritual that God has done in your life, but you're taking all the credit for something that belongs to God, well, that becomes an issue. But when you celebrate it and you can be grateful and you recognize that every good thing is coming from God and you're giving him the credit, well, it just builds new momentum in you to keep moving forward. I don't think we want to stall in our progress. We don't want to stall out in our spiritual growth. We want to celebrate the things that allow us to make achievements or to make progress, or where we see movement. Celebrate it. But celebrate it in a way that it builds momentum so that you can build for more later, rather than getting stuck where you're at. If you never celebrate, you'll get stuck where you're at, or worse, you'll shrink backwards. And we don't want to shrink backwards. We don't want to maintain and just manage right where we're at because we saw a little bit of progress. No, we want to turn that progress into more momentum for more. And so I think it's important that we celebrate. I have an Apple Watch, and one of the fun features on my Apple Watch is that you can share with other people who have a watch, like your metrics, your health goals, like how did you do standing, or your exercise goal, or your movement goal today. And it'll alert your friends that you're either in competition with or sharing that data with. And on the watch, you can send like little cheers or little snide remarks, even for sarcasm, fun, or just generally encouraging them along the way. And it's a fun way to celebrate little things with those that are trying to be healthy and be in movement. It's fun. I think we ought to do that in our spiritual lives, right? Like, man, if you read your Bible 4 out of 7 days in a week, man, celebrate. Text a friend, say, hey, I read my Bible 4 times this week. Like, celebrate it. Not so much so that you can stay at that place or feel impressive to somebody else. No, celebrate it so it builds this momentum and a hunger for more, to grow more. I think that's the idea, is you plant seeds, you see them return a harvest, but then you get to plant and measure more. Jesus said it like this, that if you give, it'll be given back to you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. With the same measure you use, it's measured back to you. So I say, let's celebrate the measure of progress that we've seen, but that way we can return it back the next time with more measured growth or progress in our lives. So don't get stuck, don't stall out, celebrate it, and then repeat it. That's it for me. Hope you have some faith for today. And remember, you're loved.